Greetings and welcome to FPTV New Releases, where it's an absolute joy to be joined by the verbose and knowledgeable James Tynan IV. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
I meant to put talented in that description as well, but that speaks for itself, mate. So you've been doing some great work on Batman. One of my all-time favorite characters, by the way. Batman 66 is the first movie that my dad ever took me to see in the northwest of England when I was a kid, and thus are born the obsessions of a lifetime, right, mate? And so I really love what you've been doing, and we're here to talk about the hardcover edition of Batman the Joker War. Beautiful package put together by the good people at DC Comics. What can you tell us about Joker War, mate?
Well, Joker War is the culmination of a lot of things, and it's a story that that's really been cooking over the course of the last year. When I first reached out to DC and said, okay, I know Tom King is coming off Batman. I want to throw my hat in the ring. I want to take on the main book. And they asked me sort of what are the pieces that you would want to tell this big definitive Batman story? We need a big Batman story for 2020. And I started laying all of the pieces out. And I wanted to do something that put the Joker up front and center. And, Joker is one of the most, the most well-known and loved villains in all of the comic book mythos. And whether you loved it or you hated it, that Joker movie made billions of dollars and was one of the most successful superhero movies of the last few years. So being able to tap into Joker from the current perspective, where it's not just the one-on-one battle between Batman and the Joker. It's also about what is the impact of Joker on Gotham City? How has Gotham City changed? And having seen Joker rise up and strike against it time and time and time again. Going all the way back to my Detective Comics runs, one of the areas of story I've always been most interested in has been how the impact of the ideology of Batman on Gotham itself, and who are the people who have gotten caught in the crosshairs of the fights between Batman and his villains. I did that in my Detective Comics run with characters like the Victim Syndicate and the Colony. But going back into the Joker and seeing the characters who have been changed by Joker and being able to bring them up front and center in this type of story, and center new characters like Punchline and the character Clown Hunter, who's one of my favorite new characters that Jorge Jimenez and I have added to the Batman mythos. Characters who bring in both Jorge and my kind of manga influence and inject it right into the heart of Gotham City. This has been one of the most fun projects that I've worked on in all my time at DC. And so the other thing that I have to say is that working with Jorge Jimenez, he is, there is a special magic that comes with working with a true peer. And what I mean by that is, I broke into this comic industry when I was very young. I was, I think I was 23, 24 years old when my first published comic came out from DC. And, now I'm in my early 30s. I've been doing this for about 9 years now. But it's taken a while for me to be able to be given a platform where I'm working with an artist who grew up with all of the same influences as me. And Jorge and I are roughly the same age. We were both, really plugged in during the manga boom of the early 2000s. And we were raised on the same cartoons and all of that. And there's this energy that that immediately plugs in when I start describing a new character and the hole that character can fill in the Gotham mythos and this larger story. He visualizes it perfectly and comes out with it even better than I had imagined. And so, I think that the biggest thing that I can say about Joker War is that there's this superhero id that we've been trying to tap into. That's just how can we make something that's just big and exciting with a bunch of exciting new characters that can set the stage for a whole bunch of like really cool new stories, but like is just visually exciting on every single page. All of that sort of comes together in Joker War, which is, yeah, I'm so proud of it.
Yeah, quite rightly so, mate. I'm hearing you talk about the influences upon you. What are a couple of your favorite animes?
Well, I can't really speak highly enough about Akira. Like Akira is
course,
at the end of the day, there's nothing bigger or better. And I think you can see a lot of Akira, especially in the character of Clown Hunter, but also in the Joker gang that, is spreading all around the city. Like when we started talking about a Joker War, I really wanted to make sure that this was an overwhelming moment in Gotham City. This isn't just something that's like called a war and, Batman resolves it in a one warehouse, like off on the side. It was something where I wanted there to be clowns in the streets causing like incredible violence, and the kind of like the the collapse of society in and around Gotham, because that is the embodiment of like the Joker agenda, is this total collapse of all systems of order. It's pure chaos, and seeing new heroes rise out of that chaos, and especially new dark heroes like Clown Hunter and new dark villains like Punchline. That was really the mix we were trying to go for. Yeah.
I love that marriage you've achieved between those forms and between the comics and between your inspirations. I think it works really well, and you can pre-order the beautiful, in fact, hardcover collection from DC, Batman the Joker War, from the links attached to this interview. Mate, it's always great to see you, James. I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thanks so much.
Take care, all the best. Bye-bye.